Hello, and welcome to The Beat, a news and talk program brought to you by the Center of Community Media here at Worcester State University. I am your host, Alexis Aslanian, and today we'll be interviewing Linzy Martinez. How are you, Linzy?
Good, how are you?
Thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell us about your background and your role in the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership Development?
Sure. So I'm originally from Connecticut, and I attended Central Connecticut State for my undergrad and my grad work, and I worked in the Student Involvement Office, which brought me to working in a Student Involvement Office here at Worcester State. I have been here since 2019. My role in the office, I work with our clubs and organizations, I work with our leadership programs, weekend events, and commuter services.
Will you remind our viewers of the services the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership Development provides for Worcester State students?
So the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership Development, we hold all of our clubs and organizations, so any student that gets involved in a club or a club sport is an organization that we work really closely with to make sure they put on events and are successful. We do orientation, our leadership programs, and a lot of other events that you guys go to on campus. We probably have something to do with it.
Can you explain the Circles of Leadership program?
So the Circles of Leadership is a 3-tiered leadership development program we offer our students. The first one is called Emerge, which is kind of our intro to leadership program. Then there's Engage and Excel, which we kind of level up for our more advanced leaders with different topics. They are 7-week programs we host every semester. Students can sign up, participate for those 7 weeks, and receive a certificate for the next program.
Are those services free that you say your 7-week program?
Yep, absolutely. Any student that signs up and wants to commit to the 7 weeks, it is completely free.
How do the Emerge, Engage, and Excel stages of the program differ?
Yeah, so Emerge is kind of our intro. So our Emerge is more skill-based, where every week we talk about a different skill. So we talk about communication, public speaking, problem solving, diving into your leadership style. We have identity and leadership. We are going to talk about self-care and time management next week. Then once we dive into Engage and Excel, Engage is more strengths focused, where we focus on a student's natural talents and strengths and how those play into leadership, with also talking about some of those other different skills thrown in there. And Excel is a little bit more for the advanced leaders, and we tailor that to a smaller group of students so that we can help them set individual goals for the future, and just kind of expand what their view of leadership is before they go out into their fields.
Do you use all 3 of those stages in your 7-week program?
So each one is 7 weeks of its own and goes into every semester. So they can all be completed within 3 semesters. So if you sign up for the fall for Emerge, in the spring you'll be invited to attend Engage, and then after, and so on.
And so forth?
Yep.
That sounds good. What are some of the characteristics of a student that joins the Emerge Leadership Program?
Yeah, so the students that come to the program are kind of looking for different things. Some of them want something interesting to put on their resume. Some of them really like the idea of leadership because they've either done a program somewhere else or have done it at their high school. And some just want to try something new and make friends. We get a lot of different folks in that program who don't really know each other and get to work together for the 7 weeks. And we usually come out with some pretty cool friendships, or at least some students who can say that they've met some new people.
So it sounds like about anyone can join the program.
Yes, absolutely.
What is the process for joining the Emerge Leadership Program?
Yeah, so our office will start advertising as soon as we know that we're going to start opening applications. So just be on the lookout for our Circles of Leadership, like flyers, social media posts. We do sometimes tables around campus, but you can also nominate folks, and professors and staff on campus can nominate students too. We get a lot of nominations where I guess a professor or somebody who works with a student will say, oh, I think the student will be really great, and they will submit them to be nominated, and we reach out and encourage them to apply. But students can apply without being nominated and just, try to go for it.
If a student completes each stage of the leadership circle, what types of skills will they develop?
Yeah, so with each stage, so if they complete Emerge, they kind of get to dive a little bit into their own views on different skills. So, for example, we just did one about communication and public speaking. We talked a lot about what communication styles work and what public speaking tips help you to feel more successful and comfortable. There's a lot of things that talk about time management, self-care, a different view of how to understand your identity, the identity of others. So you kind of take with you these different understandings you may not get in the classroom. And then when you get into Engage and Excel, there are other topics that will come your way, or we do like assessments like strengths quests, and we dive into our students' strengths and natural talents. So I guess the more you participate, the more potential you have to learn about yourself and your own style.
That's exciting. How do these leadership skills factor into a student's academic success?
Yeah, I think these skills can be beneficial for a student academically because they don't really apply to one particular subject. I think every student in their own academic, I guess, like schools or in their future fields are going to need the communication skills. They're going to need the ability to solve problems, think for themselves. They may need to step up as leaders in some way. So I typically have found that I can talk to a student with a bunch of different interests and find somewhere in the program that resonates with them, and then give them their opportunity to develop their own leadership style and philosophy that they carry with them. And I always hope that some of these things that we work on in skills will benefit them along their way. We talk about communicating and advocating for yourself, which is super important when you're going through your academics. You will need to talk to folks in your program and things like that. So I think that the skills are just incredibly beneficial for the students now and going forward.
I believe you're 100% right. There comes times inside the classroom and outside the classroom in real life scenarios where you do need to step up and portray leadership skills.
Yeah, we talk about like when you're in a group, what does it look like when you have somebody with this leadership style? What does it look like when you yourself maybe want to take a certain approach? So applying those kind of things, because I think you're going to end up working in groups in some capacity your entire life. So those are skills that the students really get the chance to develop and practice in those 7 weeks.
And you have such a big program, so I can only imagine the different types of leaders that you have involved.
So many different kinds. Yeah, we get students who come from a little bit of everything too. So sometimes I get athletes in the space, sometimes I get students who have been orientation leaders, and sometimes students who are like, I have done nothing, and this is the first thing I've ever done on this campus before, and I'm here to check it out. And I think it's really cool to get the different perspectives.
In a situation like that, they can kind of feed off each other and learn from each other.
All the time, and they're so much fun to work with. They're so funny.
What is your favorite part of working in the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership Development?
I think my favorite part is these leadership programs because I will be honest, I had not got the opportunity to work with a really cool defined program like this in my last institution. So I worked in an involvement office who attempted leadership in the form of like, different speakers and sessions, which are cool, but not every student really gets to engage in things like that. So when I came here, I was like, oh my God, these students have such a great opportunity that they don't even realize, since other schools aren't doing these like hands-on, interesting programs. So the leadership programs are definitely high on my list. I love working with the Commuter Activities Board. That's a big part of my job too. I work with commuter services, particularly students who put on events that are commuter focused. I think that they're just so silly. They have such great ideas, and it's fun to be that person to help bring student ideas, like to make them happen, to bring them to life, bring them to something the campus wants to be a part of.
And I think that's why we look forward to our interviews. That way we can give our students the opportunity to learn about some of the programs that they may not know about here on campus.
Absolutely, I love that.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers about OSILD or the Circles of Leadership program?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for what we have going on. I think that the more students that we can get to even learn a little bit about our programs, the better. We do spread a lot of word of mouth. We put things out on social media. And if you get the chance to apply, please do. I love having different kinds of students in the space with different backgrounds. So just take the opportunity while you have it, because something like that may not come around again. And it's a really cool addition to your future resumes, which you will all need.
The more the students join, the better the program will be, am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today, Lindsay.
Anytime, thank you.
Thank you for watching this segment of The Beat. Please remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We'll see you next time.